Every single morning, millions of British parents pour cereal into bowls for their children. They believe they are giving them a healthy start to the day. The boxes show pictures of happy families. They use words like whole grain and fortified with vitamins. They show athletes and healthy, active people. They promise energy and nutrition. But what if I told you that some of the most popular breakfast cereals in the United Kingdom contain more sugar than actual sweets? What if I told you that bowl of cereal you gave your child this morning has the same sugar content as feeding them chocolate bars for breakfast? I have spent weeks analysing the nutritional information of dozens of UK cereal brands. I have compared sugar contents. I have looked at what these companies are actually putting in their products versus what they claim on the front of the box. And what I discovered made me genuinely angry. In the next 30 minutes, I am going to reveal 12 specific UK cereal brands that are basically candy disguised as breakfast. I am going to show you exactly how much sugar is in each one. I am going to explain why this matters for your health and your children's health, and I am going to tell you what you should be eating instead. But I have to warn you, if you have any of these cereals in your kitchen right now, you might want to throw them away after watching this video. Stay until the very end because the number one cereal on this list is one that specifically markets itself to children, and what I reveal about it might make you furious. Before we get into the list, I need to explain something that will help you understand just how shocking these numbers really are. The NHS recommends that adults consume no more than 30 grams of free sugars per day. And for children aged 7 to 10, that limit drops to 24 grams. For children aged 4 to 6, it is just 19 grams per day. 19 grams. That is less than 5 teaspoons of sugar for an entire day. Now keep those numbers in your head as we go through this list, because you are about to see how a single bowl of cereal can blow through most of that daily limit before your child has even left for school. And here is something else you need to understand. The sugar in cereal is particularly problematic because of when we eat it. When you eat sugar first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, it hits your bloodstream fast. Your blood sugar spikes rapidly. Your pancreas releases a flood of insulin to deal with it. Then your blood sugar crashes, leaving you tired, hungry, and craving more sugar. This is why children who eat sugary cereal for breakfast often struggle to concentrate by mid-morning. This is why they are hungry again before lunch. This is why they reach for more sugary snacks. It is not a lack of willpower. It is blood sugar chaos caused by starting the day with what is essentially dessert. The cereal companies know this. They know that sugar is addictive. They know that if they hook your children on sugary cereal yarn, those children will crave it for years. They are not selling nutrition. They are selling addiction in a box. So let us get into the list. Starting with number 12 and working our way up to the worst offender. Number 12 on my list is Kellogg's Crunchy Nut. Crunchy Nut has been a UK fake, a slice of saturating beef and white, places of sand and butters who may be helpless but not be won for new premium. That tagline about the trouble being they taste too good is memorable and clever. But let me tell you what that great taste actually comes from. A 30-gram serving of Crunchy Nut contains approximately 11 grams of sugar. That is over a third of the bowl by weight being pure sugar. To put that in perspective, a 30-gram serving of Crunchy Nut contains roughly the same amount of sugar as 2 chocolate digestive biscuits. Would you give your child 2 chocolate digestive biscuits and a splash of milk for breakfast and call it a healthy start to the day? Probably not, but that is essentially what Crunchy Nut is. And here is the thing about serving sizes. Who actually eats 30 grams of cereal? Most people pour at least 50 or 60 grams into their bowl. Some eat even more. A more realistic portion of Crunchy Nut contains around 18 to 20 grams of sugar. That is already approaching the entire daily sugar limit for a young child. And that is before they have had any other food or drinks for the rest of the day. The first ingredient in crunchy nut, after corn and wheat, is sugar. The second sweetening ingredient is honey. The third is glucose syrup. There are 3 different forms of sugar in the top ingredients. Kellogg's will point out that crunchy nut contains B vitamins and iron, which is true. But adding synthetic vitamins to a sugary product does not make it healthy. You could add vitamins to chocolate bars too. That would not make chocolate a health food. The nuts in crunchy nut are not really adding much nutritional value either. The amount of actual nut in each flake is tiny. It is mostly there for flavor and marketing, not for protein or healthy fats. Number 11 is Kellogg's Frosties. If crunchy nuts surprised you, Frosties might not, because most people know Frosties are sweet. But I do not think most people realize just how sweet. Frosties contain approximately 11 grams of sugar per 30 gram serving. That is the same as crunchy nut. Despite the different taste profile, the sugar content is nearly identical. Here is what bothers me most about Frosties. This is a cereal that has been marketed directly to children for decades. Tony the Tiger is one of the most recognizable advertising mascots in the world. Children know him. Children trust him. Children pester their parents to buy Frosties because of him. And what are those children being sold? Cornflakes coated in sugar. That is literally what Frosties are. The main ingredients are corn, sugar, and then more sweetening in the form of glucose syrup. It is not complicated. It is not nutritious. It is just sweetened corn. A bowl of Frosties with milk gives a child a sugar spike that affects their concentration, their mood, and their energy levels for hours. The crash that follows leaves them struggling to focus at school, reaching for more sugar to bring their energy back up. The cycle continues every single day for years. And the really frustrating part, Kellogg's knows all of this. They have nutritionists. They have scientists. They understand exactly what sugar does to the body, but they keep making Frosties because it sells. They keep advertising to children because it works. Their profit matters more than your children's health. That is the reality. Number 10 is Nestle Cookie Crisp. Cookie Crisp does not even pretend to be healthy. It is cookies for breakfast. The marketing leans into this, positioning it as a fun treat that children will love. But just because they are honest about it being cookies does not mean it is acceptable for breakfast. Cookie Crisp contains approximately 9.3 grams of sugar per 30 gram serving. That is slightly less than Frosties, but still an enormous amount of sugar for a breakfast food. Think about what message this sends to children. We tell them that cookies are treats, something to have occasionally after a proper meal. But then we serve them cookies in a bowl with milk and call it breakfast. This normalizes sugar for children. It teaches them that sweet foods are appropriate for every meal. It sets up eating patterns that last a lifetime. Cookie Crisp also contains chocolate, which adds to its appeal for children, but also adds to its nutritional problems. The combination of refined flour, sugar, and chocolate creates a product that is essentially indistinguishable from actual dessert. A bowl of Cookie Crisp provides almost no fiber, almost no protein, and nothing that will keep your child satisfied until lunch. What it does provide is a blood sugar spike followed by a crash and a craving for more sugar. Number 9 is Kellogg's Cocoa Pops. Cocoa Pops are another cereal that has been marketed to children for generations. The tagline about turning milk chocolatey is memorable precisely because it highlights what the cereal actually is: sugar and chocolate. Cocoa Pops contain approximately 9.1 grams of sugar per 30 gram serving. But here is something interesting about Cocoa Pops that I want to highlight. The cereal turns your milk brown with chocolate. Not because there is a generous coating of high-quality cocoa on each puff, but because the rice puffs are coated with sugar and cocoa powder that dissolves into the milk. Many children drink this chocolate milk after finishing the cereal. So they are not just eating the sugar in the cereal itself, they are drinking additional dissolved sugar at the bottom of the bowl. If your child finishes their bowl of Cocoa Pops, including the chocolatey milk, they are consuming even more sugar than the nutritional label suggests, because that label assumes you are draining the milk. Cocoa Pops also contain palm oil, which raises additional questions about both health and environmental impact. Palm oil production has been linked to deforestation and habitat destruction. And while the health impacts of palm oil are debated, many nutritionists recommend limiting consumption. But the primary concern with Cocoa Pops is, and always has been, the sugar content. No amount of added vitamins can compensate for feeding children what is essentially chocolate-flavored sugar for breakfast. Number 8 is Nestle Cheerios Honey. Cheerios have an interesting marketing position in the UK. The original Cheerios are relatively low in sugar and are often recommended as one of the better commercial cereal options. But Nestle took that relatively healthy base product and created variants that are much higher in sugar, Honey Cheerios being one of the worst offenders. Honey Cheerios contain approximately 8.6 grams of sugar per 30-gram serving, nearly 3 times the sugar content of original Cheerios. The honey angle is clever marketing because honey sounds natural and wholesome. Parents might think honey is better than refined sugar, so Honey Cheerios must be a healthier choice. But here is the truth. Honey is still sugar. As far as your blood sugar is concerned, honey causes nearly the same spike as white sugar. The fact that it comes from bees does not make it significantly healthier in the amounts being used. And the honey in Honey Cheerios is not even the main sweetener. Looking at the ingredients, you will find sugar listed separately from honey. There are multiple sweetening ingredients working together to create that sweet taste. So you are getting sugar and honey and possibly other sweeteners depending on the specific formulation. It is sugar on top of sugar, marketed as a natural, wholesome choice. This is the kind of misleading health halo that frustrates me most. The original Cheerios are not terrible. Honey Cheerios take something acceptable and make it problematic while marketing it as natural and healthy. Number 7 is Kellogg's Crave. Crave takes the concept of sugary cereal and pushes it even further. Each piece is a chocolate-filled pillow designed to deliver maximal sweetness with every bite. A 30-gram serving of Crave contains approximately 9 grams of sugar, but the experience of eating Crave is particularly problematic because of how satisfying that chocolate center is. When you bite into a piece of Crave, you get a burst of chocolate filling. This creates a pleasure response that is similar to eating actual chocolate. The cereal is engineered to be irresistible. This is not accidental. Food scientists spend enormous amounts of time and money figuring out exactly how to make products that you cannot stop eating. The chocolate filling in Crave is carefully designed to hit what food scientists call the bliss point. The bliss point is the perfect level of sweetness that creates maximal craving without being so sweet that it becomes off-putting. Companies invest millions finding this exact point because it drives consumption. Crave is not breakfast. It is confectionery marketed as breakfast. The advertising for Crave often features adults suggesting it is not just for children, but whether adults or children are eating it, the nutritional problems remain the same. You are starting your day with chocolate-filled pillows and calling it a meal. Number 6 is Weetabix chocolate. This one might surprise some people because Weetabix has a reputation as a healthy British breakfast choice. Original Weetabix is indeed relatively good as far as commercial cereals go. It is high in fiber, low in sugar, and made with whole wheat. A Weetabix chocolate takes that healthy reputation and exploits it. Chocolate Weetabix contains approximately 7.8 grams of sugar per serving. That might sound lower than some others on this list, but there is a catch. The serving size for Weetabix is based on 2 biscuits, but many people eat 3 or 4 biscuits, especially adults. If you ate 4 chocolate Weetabix, you are consuming over 15 grams of sugar just from cereal. The chocolate coating also changes how your body responds to the cereal. Original Weetabix, with its high fiber content, releases energy slowly, helping you stay full and focused. But the added sugar in chocolate Weetabix causes a faster blood sugar rise, partially negating the benefits of the whole grain base. What bothers me about chocolate Weetabix is that it trades on the healthy reputation of the original product. Parents who know that Weetabix is a good choice might assume chocolate Weetabix is also a good choice, just with added chocolate. But the sugar content tells a different story. You are not getting the same nutritional profile as original Weetabix. You are getting a significantly more sugary product hiding behind a healthy brand name. Number 5 is Nestle Shreddies Cocoa. Original Shreddies, like original Weetabix, has a decent reputation. It is made from whole grain wheat and has moderate sugar content. But Cocoa Shreddies is a different product entirely. Cocoa Shreddies contain approximately 8.7 grams of sugar per 30-gram serving. The chocolate coating transforms what could be a reasonable breakfast choice into another sugar delivery system. The pattern here is clear. Take a base product that has some nutritional merit. Add chocolate or honey or some other sweetening. Market it as a tasty variant of the healthy original. Profit from confused parents who think they are making good choices. This strategy works because parents do not have time to analyze every product in detail. They see a familiar brand. They remember that brand being recommended as healthy. They assume the chocolate version must be acceptable too. But the chocolate version is not acceptable. Not when it contains nearly 9 grams of sugar per small serving. Not when children eat larger portions than the recommended serving size. Not when this is consumed daily as a breakfast staple. Cocoa Shreddies is candy disguised as cereal, trading on the reputation of a better product to sell you something much worse. Number 4 is Kellogg's Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops are not as dominant in the UK market as they are in America, but they are available and they deserve a place on this list. A 30-gram serving of Fruit Loops contains approximately 9.7 grams of sugar, but the sugar content is not even the most concerning thing about Fruit Loops. Look at those bright colors: red, orange, yellow, green, purple, blue. These colors do not come from fruit, despite the name. They come from artificial food dyes. In the UK version of Fruit Loops, these may include colors like E129, also known as Allura Red, and E133, also known as Brilliant Blue. These artificial colors have been the subject of ongoing debate and research. Some studies have suggested links between artificial food colors and behavioral issues in children, including hyperactivity. The evidence is not conclusive, and regulatory bodies have approved these colors for use, but many parents prefer to avoid artificial colors, especially for their children. Here is the irony. The cereal is called Fruit Loops, suggesting fruit and natural goodness, but there is essentially no real fruit in the product. The fruit flavors and colors are artificial. The nutritional value from actual fruit is 0. You could eat a bowl of Fruit Loops, or you could eat a handful of sweets. Both would give you artificial colors, artificial flavors, and a large dose of sugar. Both would spike your blood sugar and leave you hungry again soon after. The main difference is that one is marketed as breakfast and one is marketed as a treat. The nutritional reality is nearly identical. Number 3 is Nestle Golden Nuggets. Golden Nuggets have been around for decades, and they represent one of the most straightforwardly sugary cereals on UK shelves. A 30-gram serving contains approximately 8.8 grams of sugar per serving, but the texture and coating of Golden Nuggets makes them particularly concerning. The cereal is designed to stay crunchy in milk, which sounds appealing, but is achieved through heavy sugar coating and processing techniques. This coating means that sugar is not just mixed into the cereal, it is concentrated on the outside, where it immediately contacts your tongue with every bite. This creates an intense sweet hit that conditions your palate to expect sweetness. Children who regularly eat cereals like Golden Nuggets often find less sweet foods boring or unappetizing. Their taste buds become calibrated to extreme sweetness. This has long-term implications for eating habits. If a child learns to expect intense sweetness at breakfast, they will seek that sweetness throughout the day. They will choose sweeter snacks, sweeter drinks, sweeter everything. Golden Nuggets are literally training your children's taste buds to crave sugar, and once those preferences are established, they are very difficult to change. The advertising for Golden Nuggets has historically featured cartoon characters and fun adventure themes directly targeting children. Children do not understand nutrition. They do not know what sugar does to their bodies. They just know the cartoon. Character is fun, and the cereal tastes sweet. This kind of marketing to children is something I find deeply problematic. Companies targeting children with sugary products using cartoon characters and games and fun themes. They are deliberately exploiting the fact that children cannot make informed decisions. Number 2 is Kellogg's Risicles. Risicles were actually discontinued in the UK in 2017, partly due to concerns about sugar content, but they deserve mention because they represent how bad cereal can get and because similar products still exist. At their peak, Risicles contained approximately 9 grams of sugar per 30-gram serving, making them one of the sugariest cereals ever sold in the UK. Ricicles were essentially Rice Krispies coated in sugar. Rice Krispies themselves are relatively low in sugar, but Ricicles took that base product and covered it in sweetness, transforming an acceptable cereal into candy. The fact that Kellogg's discontinued Ricicles shows that public pressure can work. When enough people raised concerns about sugar content, the company eventually responded by removing the product from the market. But here is the frustrating thing. Many cereals that are just as sugary as Ricicles are still being sold. The only difference is that Ricicles became a symbol of excessive sugar and attracted attention. Other cereals fly under the radar while being nearly as bad. If Kellogg's acknowledged that Ricicles were too sugary to sell, why do they continue selling Frosties, Crunchy Nut, and other cereals with similar sugar content? The answer, of course, is money. Those products sell well. The principle that led to discontinue. But the principle that led to discontinuing Ricicles should logically apply to other products too. Number 1 is Kellogg's Honey Pops. And here we are, the worst offender on my list. A cereal that is marketed to children, contains cartoon characters on the box, and packs more sugar per serving than many actual sweets. Kellogg's Honey Pops contain approximately 12.5 grams of sugar per 30-gram serving. Let me put that number in context. A 30-gram serving of Honey Pops contains more sugar than a small Mars bar. It contains more sugar than 2 chocolate digestive biscuits. It contains more sugar than a serving of ice cream. A single ball of Honey Pops provides over half the daily recommended sugar intake for a young child, and that is based on the small recommended serving size. Most children eat more than that. The name Honey Pops sounds innocent. Honey is natural, right? Honey is what bees make. It cannot be that bad. But as I explained earlier, honey is still sugar. Your body processes it almost identically to white sugar. The natural origin does not make it healthy in these quantities. And once again, looking at the ingredients, honey is not even the only sweetener. There is sugar listed separately from honey, multiple forms of sweetness working together to create a product that is irresistibly sweet to children. The marketing of Honey Pops is what makes me angriest about this product. The box features bright colors, appealing to children. The imagery suggests fun and energy. There may be cartoon characters or games on the packaging. Everything is designed to make children want this product. Children are not equipped to understand nutrition. They do not know what sugar does to their developing bodies. They cannot read ingredient labels and make informed choices. They rely on adults to protect them from harmful products. And yet, companies like Kellogg's specifically design products to appeal to children over the heads of their parents. They use cartoon characters and fun themes and bright colors because these things work on children. They know that children will pester their parents to buy these products. This is not just marketing. This is exploitation, using children's developmental limitations to sell them products that harm their health. The sugar in Honey Pops will spike your child's blood sugar, send their energy levels on a roller coaster, affect their concentration at school, and set up craving patterns that last for years. And Kellogg's knows this. They have scientists and nutritionists. They understand exactly what they are doing. They do it anyway, because it makes money. So what should you do with this information? How should you actually feed yourself and your family in the morning? First, let me be clear. I am not saying all cereal is bad. There are cereals that have reasonable nutritional profiles. Original, Weetabix, with its high fiber content and low sugar, is a reasonable choice. Original shredded wheat with no added sugar is another good option. Oatmeal or porridge made from whole oats is excellent for blood sugar control and satiety. Plain Cheerios have relatively low sugar for a commercial cereal. The pattern is clear. The original plain versions of most cereals are acceptable. It is the flavored variants, the chocolate versions, the honey versions, the frosted versions that become problematic. Second, learn to read nutrition labels. Look at the sugar content per 100 grams, because this allows you to compare products easily. Anything over 15 grams of sugar per 100 grams is high. Anything over 20 grams is very high. Many of the cereals on this list are over 30 grams of sugar per 100 grams. Third, consider the serving size. Companies often use unrealistically small serving sizes to make the sugar content look better. If you actually pour the amount of cereal you normally eat into a measuring cup, you might find you eat twice the sugar. Recommended serving. Fourth, think about what else you are adding. Many people add additional sugar to their cereal. Honey on porridge, sugar on Weetabix. These additions can double the sugar content of your breakfast. Fifth, consider alternatives to cereal entirely. Eggs are an excellent breakfast option, providing protein and healthy fats without sugar. Greek yogurt with fresh fruit gives you protein and natural sweetness. Whole grain toast with avocado provides fiber and healthy fats. Even the bread you choose matters, which is why I made my previous video about bread brands to avoid. Sixth, pay attention to how you feel after breakfast. If you eat cereal and find yourself hungry and tired by mid-morning, that is a sign your breakfast caused a blood sugar spike and crash. A good breakfast should keep you satisfied and energized for entry hours. Seventh, think about what you are teaching your children. Food preferences are largely learned. Children who grow up eating sweet breakfasts will prefer sweet foods throughout life, but children who learn to enjoy less sweet options develop different preferences. You have more control over your children's long-term health than you might realize. I want to finish with something important. The cereal companies are not evil. They are businesses, doing what businesses do. They are trying to sell products and make money. They have discovered that sugar sells, especially to children, and they have optimized their products accordingly. But understanding their motivations does not mean accepting their products. You have the power to choose differently. You can vote with your wallet by choosing products that prioritize nutrition over sugar content. Every time you leave a sugary cereal on the shelf and choose something better, you send a message. When enough people make that choice, companies respond. They reformulate products. They create new options. They follow the money. Change is possible. The discontinuation of Ricicles proves that. Public pressure works. Consumer choices matter. Your decisions about what to put in your trolley ripple outward, affecting what products companies make and how they market them. Your breakfast matters. Your children's breakfast matters, not just for their health today, but for the eating patterns they develop for life. I hope this video has given you the information you need to make better choices. I hope it has opened your eyes to what is really in those colorful boxes on the cereal aisle, and I hope you will share this information with others who need to hear it. Thank you for watching. If you found this valuable, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss future videos. I am going to keep investigating everyday products and revealing what companies do not want you to know. Leave a comment below telling me which cereal on this list surprised you most. I read every comment and I want to know what you think. And share this video with any parent you know who is trying to make good choices for their children. They deserve to know the truth. Until next time, take care of yourself, read those labels, and remember that what you eat for breakfast sets the tone for your entire day. Choose wisely. This is Food Truth Exposed, and I will see you in the next video.